If making friends feels easy for everyone except you, this is why. You've watched people form friendships like it's the easiest thing in the world. A joke, a laugh, a plan made in minutes. And then there's you, trying your best, saying the right things. And somehow, it just doesn't stick. You're not broken. You're not weird. There are real psychological reasons this happens. And once you understand them, everything changes. Most people who struggle to make friends are not antisocial. They're not awkward. And they're definitely not the problem. The truth is, their minds work differently, deeper, more sensitive, more aware. And that changes everything about how they experience the social world. Here's what's really going on. 1. You can't do fake, and most social circles are full of it. You notice it immediately, the performative laughter, the gossip disguised as bonding, the friendship that exists only when it's convenient. Your brain is wired to detect inauthenticity, and it rejects it automatically. That's not a flaw. That's a filter. You don't collect people. You choose them. And choosing carefully means your circle stays small, but everything inside it is real. 2. Small talk feels like a wall, not a door. How's the weather? Doesn't interest you. What keeps you up at night? Does. People who struggle to make friends often live inside their minds, curious, complex, wired for depth. Small talk isn't just boring to them. It feels like a barrier between two people who could be having a real conversation, but aren't. So they go quiet. Not because they have nothing to say, because they have too much, and none of it fits the script everyone else is following. 3. The conversation ended an hour ago. Your brain is still in it. Did that come out wrong? Did they laugh because it was funny? Or to be polite? Should you have said something different? Your mind replays moments like a highlight reel you didn't ask for. The last sentence, the pause, the facial expression, trying to solve what happened so you can connect better next time. That's not anxiety. That's a brain that actually cares about people. Deeply. 4. You decide the friendship is over before it even starts. Someone doesn't reply fast enough. Someone seems distracted during a conversation. Someone cancels plans once, and your brain files it. They don't want to be around me. You start rereading the chat, checking your last message, scanning for the mistake, and you treat silence like a verdict. It's built from past experiences, from times when people actually did leave. Your brain learned to protect you by walking away first. But protection here is also isolation. 5. What looks effortless to others wipes you out completely. A 2-hour gathering, a group lunch, a party. Others walk out energized. You walk out needing 2 days to recover. Your nervous system processes social interactions more intensely. Every face, tone, word, and unspoken feeling passes through your awareness simultaneously. It's not weakness. It's a more active, more sensitive social processor. And sensitive processors need more recovery time. That's not avoidance. That's maintenance. 6. Someone you trusted didn't deserve it. The friend who shared your secret. The group that turned its back when you needed them. The person who smiled to your face and destroyed you behind it. You didn't become closed. You became careful. And your brain, to protect you from that pain again, built a system. Observe first, trust slowly, access by invite only. That's not coldness. That's wisdom that cost you something real to earn. 7. You edit yourself before you even open your mouth. Is this too weird? Too intense? Too honest? Will they judge me for this? So you shrink. You give a smaller version of yourself, safe, surface level, forgettable, and then you wonder why the connection never goes anywhere. But here's the painful truth. The version of you that people never get to see is exactly the version that would make them stay. 8. Your environment was never the right one. When your personality, values, or way of seeing the world doesn't match the people around you, connection feels like effort, not because you're broken, but because you're mismatched. A jazz musician placed in a pop band doesn't fail. They're just in the wrong room. Most people who struggle with friendships aren't struggling because they're broken. They're struggling because they haven't found their room yet. And one more thing, depth isn't better than surface. It's just different. Some people bond through jokes and routines. You bond through truth and meaning. Different language, same human need. 9. You may have only 1 or 2 people in your life who truly know you. Most people think that's sad. But consider this. You built those friendships from scratch, through honesty, through depth, through time. You didn't collect them, you earned them. A friendship that survives your walls, your intensity, your silences, and your realness is not a casual connection. It is something most people spend their entire lives searching for. You already have it. Here's what no one tells you about people who struggle to make friends. They feel more. They think more. They notice more. They don't do surface because they're capable of something deeper. They don't do fake because they've tasted what's real. They don't collect people because they know what it costs to truly know someone. They're not struggling to make friends because something is wrong with them. They're struggling because they're looking for something most people have stopped believing exists. And if that's you, this isn't where the story ends. Understanding why you struggle is the first step, but there's a second one. So here's the shift from being understood to actually changing your social life. This week, don't chase more people. Chase the right room. Pick one place where people share your wiring. A class, a club, a niche community, a small group built around something you genuinely care about. Then do one simple move. Start one real conversation. Not a performance, not a pitch. Just one honest line. I'm trying to meet people who actually like deeper conversations. What are you into lately? And if your circle stays small, good. One real friend beats 10 convenient ones. Share this with someone who's been too hard on themselves for struggling socially. They need to hear it. And subscribe, because next time we go even deeper into the psychology of how you think, feel, and connect.